You got to change what you're doing. You got to change how you talk. You got to change how you act. Because he's saying, I have dropped all them charges that was against you. See what I'm saying? That's why you live for him, because he erased all of that. And he said, when I look at you, I don't see what you did anymore. And that's why you love him, because you say, he don't see me no more. I used to be a liar, cheater. And you say all these things. But so you got to understand, why is the blood important? Because you got to remember, in the Old Testament day, if we're going to overcome spirits, you got to understand why I'm trying to tell you what I'm telling you. In the Old Testament day, when prophets and priests would go before God, because in Revelations, it said that we're kings and we're priests. So when you got Jesus, when you confess Jesus, his spirit comes inside of you. A spirit needs a place to live in so it can show what it is. So if I'm angry, you gonna see me act angry. That's how you know what spirit I got in me. If I'm sitting up here from the punch a hole in this wall, that spirit of rage, you gonna see what I do is gonna show you what spirit that's in me. Make sense? If I'm sick, that's letting you know I got a spirit of sickness in me. If I'm broke, that's letting you know I got a spirit of poverty in me. If I can't never get ahead, that means I got a spirit of setback. Setback means I never get ahead, because that spirit is in me. So whenever I try to go forward, something always happens, because setback is in me. Make sense? Yeah. And so God's saying, you got to understand that when you got saved, you got to understand, you said that the Bible was going to be my only source. You said this Bible is the only thing what's going to tell me how my life should be. So the Bible is a book of laws. It's a book of regulations. It's a book of ordinance. And that these laws are to show me what I'm supposed to do in life. So if I'm sick, I go in here, it tells me I'm healed. If I'm broke, I go in here, it tells me that I'm wealthy. The Bible tells me what I need to do. And so when I read it because God's saying, I need you to enforce my laws. Enforce means I need you to change what's going on in your life to make it like what the Bible says. That makes sense? Say enforcer. Write this down. I am an enforcer. You know what an enforcer means? An enforcer means if that child is being abused by it, sit down. And they try to get back up. Sit down. You are enforcing that they do it. When you read the Bible, and so if you sick, you telling that body you are healed. The more it's trying to act up and be sick, you are healed. You got to enforce what their word says in this Bible. I mean, in your body. Just like how you will make that child do something, you got to make things in your life enforce to what the word says. So God's saying, this is a place that's not going to be easy. Because you looking at it in the natural and saying, wait a minute. The doctor say ABC is wrong with me, but God's saying I'm healed. Right. He looking at you to say, I want you to heal yourself. How do you heal yourself? With the word you speak. Yes. Because he's a spirit. Because in the Old Testament, when they came to worship God, they had to kill animals. Goat, sheep. Mm-hmm. And it couldn't be no any kind of sheep. It had to be a sheep with no spots. It had to be the most prettiest one, the most fat one. In other words, God's saying, I want the best. Don't you get him your little puny sheep and you got a big fat one over here. Give me the fat juicy one. So that's what they would take. So if it's something that they wanted from God, they had to go take they fat sheep, they fat goat, whatever it was. And so, and what the priest would do, they would kill the animal and they would get the blood. And the priest would go and give the blood to God. One goat, he would get two. One would represent what they're going to give to God, and the other one they would kill that would represent the sin. Whatever they're going to pray to God for. So, because then God wanted blood from an animal. Jesus came Because he said, I want a lamb without spot, wrinkle, or blemish. That's why we took communion, because of his blood. See, his blood is supernatural. What do you mean? It's supernatural means whatever that man say can't be done, his blood say, yes, it can.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Man say, we give you 30 days to live. His blood saying, yes, I can live. Man say, you totally going to be like this the rest of your life. The blood saying, that's a lie. Right. So when we do communion, whatever that you saying, I never forget them. I never forget what they did to me because they hurt me. But when you remind yourself, I got the blood. That's it. The blood reminds you can do all things. So that person that hurt you, you look at that same person and say, how you doing? It won't think nothing about what they did to you because the blood on their wrist.
That's it.
In other words, they no longer have control over you no more. You know how you see them and they make you cry? They make you mad? He said, See, when that happens, that letting you know the enemy still got control over your life. Right. Because you can see the person that hurt you, you see them in Walmart, and instead of you avoiding them, you going to them. How you doing? And you mean it. And you don't think about what they did to you no more. That lets you know that you have put the blood on what they did. That's because you begin to pray and say, God, I apply the blood. I don't care what I feel. I don't care what it looks like. I choose to. See, you got to choose to. You got to choose to let it go. See, that's how you choose to. When you choose to let it go, you are overcoming the situation. It ain't where your flesh may still feel it. Well, I still feel, man, baby, flesh died. Can I tell you your flesh ain't saved? Your flesh ain't saved. Your soul is. That's why I got on the bulletin board right here. You got a soul. It's 3 parts. Write this down. You got 3 parts to you. You got a soul, you got a spirit, and you got a body. Your soul represents your mind. Your mind is the way that you think, how you was brought up, how you was raised. It's your likes, it's your dislikes. So this is the part of you that when you die, this is the part that leaves. Your soul. Say spirit. Your spirit part broke. Hold your hand out below. Y'all feel that air? That's the part when you read Genesis, it said God blew into man and man came a living soul. That's the place where God lives in you. Do it again. Blow. That's how God come on earth. Blow. That's God manifesting on earth. If you be quiet, God can't show up on earth. Why? He needs you to talk. When you talk, that gives him permission to come on earth because God is a spirit. Do y'all hear me? He is a spirit. A spirit can't talk unless it got a human being body. Unless it's an animal or it got to be in an object. Otherwise, a spirit cannot talk. That means demonic spirits and God's spirit. The devil need a body to talk to. Just like God need a body. So what I'm trying to tell you is the enemy has fooled us because we thought it was about church. Do y'all know it's not about church? This is about God's whole world. This is about just like how Jesus came to earth and he turned this world upside down. It's because God is saying, I want to use you. And I want you to turn this world upside down. That's what this is about. It's not about your church. It's not about sword and shield. It's about God saying, I want you to get so full of me that you get over your issues that you deal with, and now you go back and you go help other people that was just like you. Do that make sense? That's why you're supposed to be able to be a light on your job. You're supposed to be a light in your family. You're supposed to be a light in the community. You're supposed to be a light that people say, now I know everybody in your family was hookers, and you're not a hooker. How you get to be different? See, now you get to say, because I got God in my life. And I put his blood on the inside of me. So the things that my family do, I don't do. Because I got a new name. You see what I'm saying? And so you begin to open up your mouth because you understand when you speak, you're giving God permission to operate in your life. So I want you to write this down. So my spirit man, the more, look at me y'all, the more that you, when you go home and when you study, the more that you study God's word and you put it in your spirit. And when you begin to speak it out your mouth, you have activated God to manifest. Y'all know you walk in the room and people go, and the light come on. Mm-hmm. When you open up your mouth and you believe God's word and you speak it, things change. They change. That's why we pray. Because the more you pray, the more whatever you believe in God for, He does it. Because you're not praying to Him what you see, you praying to Him what His word says.